Alright, hello everyone and welcome.
It's live, oh my goodness. What's going on?
And the audio looks like it's working this time. Yay!
That's always a plus.
Oh, well, did you catch the last live stream with Les?
I watched the replay recently. Like
Right.
when you said you yeah.
Yeah, and you would have seen my audio troubles at the start.
Yeah. I've had those fair share of audio troubles with live streams. I actually have a really good setup, but I just haven't plugged it in so long. So like really crisp audio. If we ever do this again, I'll I'll get it set up properly. But yeah, it's just it took me like a month to get it right, like a solid month, tweaking the audio. So I'm just using the laptop audio tonight.
Yeah, it's alright, does the job.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, I honestly forgot. I keep forgetting that the new MacBook doesn't have its USB-C.
Oh yeah.
So like everything I have to plug in is USB.
Well, actually, the newest of the newest ones they do have a normal USB port.
I don't know why they don't. It's ridiculous.
Well, the one you've got, Apple went on a phase when they just insisted that everyone move everything to USB-C, and it didn't quite turn out that way, and so they've thankfully gone back on that decision a little bit.
That's a pain in the ass. Like when I bought this MacBook, I honestly had no idea. I had like the MacBook Air.
Yeah.
Then I decided to drop my drill on it with a drill bit. Went straight through the screen. Don't do that. And so I quickly ran out and just decided to bite the bullet and use some YouTube cash to buy a good MacBook, and then realized it was all bloody USB-C and had to go back and buy all the adapters because like nothing worked. It's such a pain. But like, the adapters are cheap, and you can go to Kmart and get the adapters for fucking next to nothing. But yeah, it's just a classic. It's like Apple when you buy a new iPhone, it doesn't come with the charger, like it doesn't come with the little dock. Oh my god! Like I got home to charge it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, wait till they don't include the cord at all, and it's just like, oh yeah, well you should have bought that with the phone, shouldn't you?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh my god.
It's we can make a bit more money while pretending to care about the environment a bit.
That's it. I think Apple made like millions of dollars alone just by not putting in the adapter thing, the charging adapter.
Probably. Anyway, let's look at some comments which are 99% just dairy.
God, I gotta have a look. Let me jump on. Dairy. There's lots of dairy going on. Should we explain the dairy? Does anyone even know the dairy story? I'm not even sure I know it.
Yeah, well, you tell us. Tell us what you know.
Well, the dairy was a where was it? Was it like Ringwood?
Yeah, that area, I think of Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont. Yeah, yeah. So there was an old dairy there that had a house on site, and it was a good explore. But like, this is years ago. What do you reckon? Like 2017?
Yeah, that was a really cool place. I liked that place.
Yeah,
Like it was
cool,
trashed to oblivion, but it was just one of those places which was cool, even if it was trashed.
I went there a bunch of times anyway, but the one time I filmed it, I I just said dairy, and then of course, because that's what it was in the video, and of course Les turned it into a meme, and the dairy legend was born. I don't even drink milk, so I'm not a big milk drinker. I'm not a big dairy man, so
yeah.
So the dairy legend was born, and now if you go to a Foggy Avenue video, first thing all you get is dairy comments.
Well, I think how it turned out on sort of my end of things was that I remember, I mean, Les has always just been obsessed with random things that make zero sense to everyone else, but he just, will find something you say in a certain way that was not intentional at all, but he'll find it funny anyway.
Yeah, he's pretty good at doing that stuff. The stuff now when he sends me text messages and I've got to like spend like 3 days reading it before I reply, so I don't know what the hell he's Sometimes I consult you, like, what does this mean?
Yeah, well, gosh, so Les and I have been friends for 11 years now, so, I'm one of the few people who can translate most of his words, and occasionally he'll come to me and he'll have made up a new word, and he won't tell me that he's made up a new word. He'll just say it, and I've got to figure out what it is.
Yeah, that sounds like Les. But the first time I saw Les like on a video, it was like 2016, I reckon.
Yeah.
That Panda had this like he was living in Altham, and we used to just spend Saturday nights like watching YouTube sometimes, just like getting drunk and watching YouTube fail compilations and stuff. And then like this is just as we started doing YouTube ourselves, so like, I reckon we had like 3 or 4 videos between us. And he was always talking about Les from Fogarty Avenue. This is Panda. And then we started watching Les and you, and it was like, and Jay Boston and all these guys. But it was like, from the minute Les, I was like, what the hell is this guy on, man? Probably like, how old were you guys back then? My God, you must have been like 16.
Not that young. 2016, I would have, let's see, I was in year, gotta work this out. I was born in 97.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So I was 19.
19, there you go, my God. Well, you look 12.
Well, I look permanently 12. Actually, when at the peak of like you got to be vaccinated to get into everything, I went down to the library, and the youngest that you could get vaccinated, I think at the time, was 12. And I went to the library, and the lady asked, "Oh, are you old enough to be vaccinated?"
Oh my God.
I'm like, yeah, I'm 24. It's all right. I'm not 12.
Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s now. I don't have that issue anymore. The beard helps, though, I think. I was in America 2018, and so I was like, oh my God, like 28 or something. I got asked for ID there because you got to be 21, obviously, to like get into places or buy alcohol. But I don't think I've been asked for ID in Australia since I was like 19.
Well, actually, I think in the US, like they have to ask your ID no matter what.
No, probably.
Because I remember, because my dad, he used to go to the US a lot for work, and you'd always drop by the bottle shop and they'd ask him for ID, and he'd be like, really?
Yeah. I know. I think now, like some grocery stores like Woolworths and that they have to ask for ID if you look like if you're not over 21. But I don't know how well they stick to that.
I think they've got to ask it if they suspect that you're under 25.
Yeah. I'm reading some of your comments right now. I just read Robert saying, MuiTube and myself are 1989. Yeah, that's me. Floyd, 97. That makes me, oh my God. It's strange to think that, like, 97. I was in grade 4. It's like, it just feels like it was only, like, years ago. Time flies, eh?
Yeah.
I graduated high school, like, 13 years ago now. Even then, I don't know how I got through that.
There's with Les, just going back to like the origins of dairy and stuff. A lot of the time, he will just start like snickering about something little like that, just on his own, and then he'll ring me up and tell me about it, and then he'll say something along the lines of, should I turn that into a video? Should I put that in a video or something like that? And I'll just say yes.
Oh, man. I honestly save, like, all the Foggity videos so I can watch, like, 10 in a row. Because usually when I watch one, I'm just like, okay, I'm laughing so much that, like, I need more. So I usually save, like, a bunch in a row. And then, like, when I get a day off or I've got a quiet night, I'll watch, like, 5 or 6 in a row. And I'm usually just in tears the entire time, mainly because like he's just memeing me and Panda the entire time, and it's just funny. I'm sure everyone else is watching it like, what the fuck? Like, this makes no sense, but
it's you gotta, it's like you gotta be in it to understand it, but once you are in it and you do understand it, it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's acquired taste. Like I remember when Les was doing all his homeless week and all that stuff, and like he was texting me while this is years ago. This has to be like pre-pandemic. It's just non-stop.
I should explain that to people. So Les's homeless week was when he decided voluntarily that he wanted to be homeless for a week just to prove to himself that he could do it. And so what?
Did he do a whole week?
I don't think so.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think he stopped after like 4 or 5 days because he got sick of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
He realised he didn't really want to be homeless.
Man, I tell you, like, that's got to be hard. Like, really hard. Just doing, like, stealth camp stuff. It's rough. It is rough. Like the one that I've edited and released anyway. It's that was a rough night. So I couldn't imagine like doing it from like a week. You should have done like 3 days.
Well, he had a reasonably good setup. Like he had a mattress in the back of his van, and he knew where to go for a shower each night.
I guess it's not so bad. If you're doing like camping, like finding a place to sleep every night without jumping in a bivvy bag or a hammock or something, then I can imagine that being pretty rough.
Well, I think his biggest problem ended up being he had an inverter so he could run his electric fry pan, and he fried his inverter.
I wish he filmed it, man. He should have filmed it.
He doesn't like putting his van online.
Yeah, but there's easy ways of not showing it.
Yeah, I think he could have done something, but
yeah, I'm sure Les will come up with some other thing next time. Dumpster diving week.
I mean, I remember we went on a big road trip, and we knew that his van was going to get in the background of some shots. We weren't going to focus on it, but inevitably it would get in the background. So we made up some cardboard number plates that said Fog Ave,
Yeah.
And thought, oh yeah, well, we'll just clip them over the number plates because he didn't want his number plates being online. Personally, I don't really give a shit. I've got my car's number plates on my channel.
You can actually you can jump on eBay. I know Liz won't like to spend like $4, but you can jump on eBay and actually buy like license plates that are just fake, like number plates that you could just put like Foggy Avenue on with magnets on the back.
Oh yeah, he could do it. Well, I mean, he doesn't even want to do that anymore. But the funny story is that quite a number of times we drove a fair distance while forgetting to take the fake number plates off.
Oh yeah, true. Yes, you don't want to do that when you get in petrol or something.
Well, I think a couple of times we actually did pass a cop in the other direction.
Oh man,
and
that'd be a good conversation to have.
And yeah, just realising, oh shit, the fake number plates are still on. Better take them off.
You know what? Like, how many times have you had like run-ins with police while filming anything?
Oh, almost never.
Yeah, I know, and it's like the one thing we get asked like non-stop.
Yeah.
Non-stop. Like, me and Panda went through a really rough run, like, towards the pandemic, like, close to the pandemic, when probably 2019, like, where, like, we both just had to stop filming because we just went through, like, 5 explores in a row where we all, like, were basically getting chased out of buildings. It was just like, that's the worst part, is when people rock up.
Yeah.
Like, we got chased out of one place in Dandenong by, like, 12 dudes, man. And, like, we got out by the skin of our teeth. I'm talking like action movie.
Yeah, was it you or someone else who was, like, literally, like, machete wielding people running after you?
They weren't machete wielding that I saw, but basically there's a place, the video's online, but it was actually 2 places that were next to each other down towards Dandenong. One was like a place where you can drop your, like a boarding kennel where you can drop animals off to and stuff. And next door to it was an old sporting, like an indoor sporting venue that also had a church attached to it, like some sort of church. Really weird setup. But basically we filmed the pet place, and then there was a hole in the fence. So I'm like, Panda, let's go. Let's film this other place. Let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Went through. And when I went through, I saw there was a ute in the driveway, which was like 50 meters from the hole in the fence. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they saw me, but they backed off and just drove away. So I'm like, they must have seen us. Anyway, we filmed the entire place, like the whole thing. And we're basically as far away from the hole in the fence as we can be. And I hear the padlock and chain drop off the gate. That's like 100 meters from where we are. And I'm just like, shit. Like, I wish I filmed this entire thing. I don't know why I wasn't recording. And I just looked at Panda and I was like, mate, there's someone here. I like poked my head around the corner and I could just see like 10 dudes easily like standing at the gate. And I'm just like, Panda, man, leg it. So we're running and they're coming towards us. And there's a hole in the fence like close to us, like just by pure chance. I'm just like, please be another hole. We literally get through the hole, leg it back through the pet place, get to where my car's parked on the dirt road on the side, and there's a guy in a car there. Like, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, all right, who cares? So I just like said to the guy, like, hey, how you going? I don't think they spoke very good English. And I was like, hey, how you going? And he's on the phone. And we're like 100 meters away again from where the road turns off to the main road to where the dirt road is. And I just see this white van just tear around the corner. And I'm like, Panda, just get in the car. So we jumped in my car and floored it, man, up this dirt road for like 2 kilometers with them behind us until like I was gone, man. They were in the distance. Like I just went like 160 up this dirt road and in my car, got away from them. And then like, I think the same day, man, we explored. It's a place, if I showed you photos, you know it, but it has a palm tree like in the front yard and everything's like completely intact. Same, like less than 1 kilometer away from that place, I reckon. On a dirt road again, went and filmed the whole thing. I look through the front window and there's a guy peering around a tree. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake. And you can tell like he's on the phone and he's like being serious about everything. And yeah, I'm just like, Panda, run. run. So we just leg it through like 4 paddocks with sheep and stuff in it until we get back to the car, completely covered in water and stuff. And it was and then we had like 3 or 4 others like exactly the same in a row. We're like, it's been a shit day. And then we were just like, all right, I need a break. I need time off. There's bad juju around exploring, and then the pandemic happened. So honestly, like the last 6 explores I reckon I've done, I haven't even. I've taken like a few photos on my phone, but I haven't filmed anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I was I haven't been chased out of many places. I mean, I remember one time I was at an old miniature railway, and I'd actually been there on the day of closure. And then I came back, and I was with some other person, I can't remember who, but I was just like, I'd walked around the whole place basically and was just like doing my outro, and the person I was with was just like, get down. And I was like, wait, what? Like, oh shit, down. And dropped, and at that moment a car drove past. And I was like, oh fuck.
I've had plenty of those moments. I've had those moments when it's like, man, back in like doing so many videos, like there was points where I was doing like 2 abandoned videos a week at one point, and like it was doing really well and stuff. And I went to Barundle in Bundoora like really late at night, like almost midnight. I wanted to take some photos. It was a really clear night. I thought it's going to be good to take like star photos and get some good snaps. And this is way before it is like it is now, if you've seen it how it is now.
I go past, it's a shell, like there's a few walls propped up with steel beams, there's nothing.
Yeah, it wasn't like fully open, but there was parts you could just walk straight into. But I'm standing there with the camera in my hand, and security car comes up. That was almost a Les meme moment there. Security car comes up to me, parks right there, and he's like, hey, how you going? And I'm like, yeah, good, mate. And he's like, you going in there to film it and put it on YouTube, are you? And I'm like, nah, I'm just taking photos. And he's like, I watch your YouTube channel, man. And he just drove off.
Oh, nice.
I was just like, fuck. I was like, I wish he'd come back. I could have been like, can you let me in? Like, fine. Like, show me around, man. But yeah, I don't think he was too keen to hang around. He was just like, yeah, I've seen your shit, man. I like your channel. And just drove off. Like, most security guards are pretty sweet. As long as you don't piss them off, I think you're
yes. Yeah, security guards are alright. It's the cops that I don't really want to mess with.
Yeah, exactly. But like from all accounts, most cops are pretty chill with the old, as long as you're not smashing the place up.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you ever are in a situation where you have been caught red-handed and there's no escaping, then you'll get yourself into a worse position by trying to lie about it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I always just find it's being the most honest is your best way out of it. Honestly, it's like, I've got a camera. Like, yeah, I mean, they know what we're up to most of the time. It's so different now, man. Like, urban exploring in Melbourne is so different now, I reckon. Just like, no one films shit for YouTube. It's all TikTok. It's just like, yeah, so many.
Look, there's always going to be the people who are doing it for attention.
Yeah, that's it.
It existed before TikTok, and it's going to exist after TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. But the whole TikTok thing it's so easy, man. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. It has exacerbated it.
Yeah, like it's just so easy. It's you can rock up, film 6 shots on your phone, edit it in 25 seconds, and get millions of views without even batting an eyelid. Where we could put in 2 hours into a video and get 300 views.
Yeah,
it's just the way it is. And like I was talking to someone recently, like about how like just say if I don't upload for like 6 months, then I upload, I'll get like 300 views in the first day, and then nothing for months, and then all of a sudden I'll get like 1,000 views, and it'll stay at like 1,500 to 2,000 views. Whereas some of these other blokes, like the bigger YouTubers, won't upload for like 2 years, man, and then upload and get 1 million views, and it's just like, you know, what are we doing? It's YouTube in a nutshell.
Yeah, let's look at some comments if there are any. Well, Robert says, "Hey, Floyd, Scotty, enjoyed Stealth Camp. Is there another coming up?"
Yeah, I've got a few. That will definitely be, look, the stealth camping stuff, that video is honestly one of my favourite videos I've ever made. Probably the favourite I've ever made, to be honest. And I don't actually enjoy many of my own videos, but that was just so fun from start to finish, man. It was awesome, man. Like, it was really just freeing to get out there and be on my own, and I had the dog, and sleep in a hammock, even though it was like -2 degrees. But way more. I'm going to be doing way more for sure. But it's just time is the factor to do the stealth camps, because obviously I've either got to do it on a weeknight when I go to take my opportunity. But like now, I literally just, like, if I showed you my Google Maps, my locations for stealth camping, like, there's another spot. My next one, I was literally going to film one next week. I probably will film one next week, actually, but at the spot that I wanted to. But it's really, there's football ovals all around it, and then there's a bunch of trees in between that are like really good cover. But because of winter and autumn, all the leaves have fallen off the trees. Now it's like I'd literally just be camping out in the open. So heaps of stealth stuff coming, and like the hammock stuff is grouse. Like the company that makes it is awesome. So yeah, they make really good quality stuff, and it all comes out of Queensland. So. Yes, that's the answer. Way more. Probably more than other stuff that I was filming.
All right. Matthew James says, "Hi guys, Floyd would love to see both of you same size next to each other. Also, Floyd, my audio's too hot." Again.
Really? What did he say? He'd love to see us next to each other?
Yeah, like size. I've turned my audio down a tad on the live stream. It's quite down already, so.
Maybe it's your computer. Same size next to. Yeah. Well, man, we live in Melbourne, man. We can do this together sometime.
I've forgotten how tall you are compared to me, or what. You are taller than me, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm about 6'2".
Yeah, there. So you're 6'2", I'm 174 centimetres. So I think it's like 5'11", something like that, 5'10".
Yeah. No, but honestly, man, fuck, it's been like 3 years, like 2019 since probably the last time I saw you.
I know, I was saying that. I was talking to Telltale the other day, and we were saying, nice. It was...
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
I caught up with her a few times during the pandemic. Yeah, she's cool. And she only lives like 15 minutes from me, so it's an easy catch up.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Whereas you're like 40 minutes from me, so.
It's so hard because, like, I go to uni not far from you, but then whenever I'm at uni, I'm busy and I can't meet up.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh, man. There's so many drains and stuff that we've got to, like, I really want to go and, like, take photos at and stuff. So we've got to make it a goal by the time this year ends to hit some drains, because obviously this time of year is not the best to do it.
No. Yeah.
Or do some camping.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely want to, I know Les is keen to do some stealth camping stuff in some abandoned buildings. I don't know how I'm going to go there, but yeah. I always thought about doing Bradmill as a stealth camp.
Interesting. All right, we've got a minute left on this meeting, so I'm going to pause the stream while we get set up onto the next one.
Sweet. All right, do you want me to get off?
Scott, you can entertain the guests while I go and get myself a dairy-related product to consume.
Oh man, I can't believe that. Is everyone drinking a dairy?
That was supposed to be the theme.
No, I can't. I can't do dairy, man. There's no such thing in my world. I'm gonna read some of the comments. Someone said, "Who's Scotty?" That's me. No, he just deleted that comment. That's fine. You can check out my channel on MuiTube. I think I commented earlier before. You can click on that. But yeah. Sam said, "G'day, dudes. Hey, dudes. How are you? I used to love watching Scotty's live streams. You used to? Yeah, I haven't done any live streams for a while, Sam. Honestly, live streams are tricky. They honestly are. Because I don't know if it's changed now, but back a while ago, the live streams were tough because when you did them sporadically, YouTube would only recommend it or only send notifications to like 4% of your subscribers. I don't know why. So you'd be doing a live stream and like no one would be watching. It was rough, but it's you do what you got to do. Well, I'm going to do some more. I promise. I promise, Sam. Stephen said, I had my Milo. Yeah, you had your Milo ready. I'm not going to lie. I do love a Milo. I'm not, as I said, I'm not a big milk drinker, but the old Milo does get me going. My daughter loves it as well. So let's see. I had ice cream with caramel topping for dessert, Roderick. Bloody hell, you're living the dream, mate. I can't say I have any chocolate topping, but I'll see what Floyd's up to. He might be getting a big old a big old cup of milk or something. Why does Floyd have a ladder in the background? That's the real question. And 2 computer chairs. What's he up to? He's up to no good. There's probably heaps of comments at the top. Everyone's saying dairy. Dairy. Dairy is the meme. This is the voice of dairy when you hear that on Fogarty Avenue videos. Dairy. Welcome to Dairy HQ. Everyone got your milk ready. Oh, the meme that keeps on giving. Sure is. So yeah, Melbourne and regional train vlogs. I got to check that guy out. I'm turning into a bit of a Floyd type with his trains. I love watching freight train videos. Freight train hopping. I mean, there's not much going on here in Australia because I think it's a bit more strict. But America has some sick freight train videos. It's yeah, here in Australia, I haven't seen too many, to be honest. I'll have to check that channel out. How's everyone going anyway? Leave me some comments. Where's everyone watching from? Where are we all? Are we on Melbourne time? And I got to be honest with Floyd. I didn't know Zoom meetings had a time, a 40-minute timeout. What's that about? Can you post your YouTube channel link? I can probably do that. Let me do that for you guys right now. I'm not drinking any dairy for you fellas watching. I'm drinking Bundaberg. So let me just deal with me while I try and do this. Bang, bang. I'm just copying and pasting. Let me know if bang. Let me know if that works. Is that a clickable link? I don't know if it is. Anyway, honestly, that's my channel right there. If you see that, you'll see it. There's a whole bunch of different videos on there. I've been exploring and some videos with Floyd in there too from a while ago now. Matty K said, I sub to you. You have cool vids. Thanks, Matt. Matt K183. You're like Blink 182, but 183. Why are you 183? Can I ask? Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm watching from Melbourne. Yeah, nice one. I'd say there's a few Melbourneites in here, eh? That's cool, man. Melbourne is the place to be, even though I want to move away from it. Matt K said he's in Camberwell. Yeah, nice. I know Camberwell decently. Do a bit of work out that way. I'm in Melbourne's northeast. K13 is a steam locomotive. There you go. I say this is where I need Floyd because Floyd is the train expert. It's your profile picture, okay? Right. Yeah, I can't say I know a whole lot about trains, but Floyd's the teacher on the train front. I've been on a few missions with Floyd here and there. Oh, so how's everyone's Friday going anyway? It is Friday, isn't it? It is. Oh, Floyd, where are you, mate? Where's your dairy-related products? Oh, I think I've stuffed my computer up here. Hold on. Oh my God, what am I doing? There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm just clicking on things. But while Floyd's not here, I'll talk about my broken nose. How good is this? Can you see that? 2 days before the live stream, I decided to walk smack bang into the boot of my car and stuff my face up. See that, Floyd? Can you hear me? I think I already broke my nose. I walked into the boot of the car.
Wow.
It hurts. You're missing out. I'm smearing your image in the comments.
Are you? Hang on.
He's churning butter while we wait.
I got myself a hot chocolate.
You went to the milk bar and got the bloody discount milk. Old mate said, "Yeah, my Friday's good. I'm on school holidays now. Hell yeah! Now I'm on my street lighting collector. So I'm taking a lot of pictures of them before I go to LED." Whoa, that just went away. I was reading it. Okay, you're on school holidays though. Good for you, man. I didn't realise it was school holidays, but there you go. That's what happens when you get older.
Your kid's not old enough to worry about school holidays yet.
No, I wish.
You will soon enough.
Yeah, a few years off from that, yeah.
We'll go quickly.
Yeah, for sure. So how's your milk-related product?
It's pretty good. I was gonna get the fancy coffee maker milk frother thingo going, but then I couldn't find the jug, so.
Fair call. I had a coffee just about an hour ago, so I did use the fancy frother, so it goes good.
I'm not a big dairy consumer myself. Like
dairy consumer.
Yeah. Well, like I don't know what it is, but I just like I will eat food from every corner of the planet, but consistently any sort of dairy related things, I generally don't mind it if it's mixed in with something else, but on its own, yeah. So like, you know, like I'll have milk with cereal, but I'd rarely eat cereal.
Yeah, I like Nutri-Grain in the morning, but yeah, it's not. Man, like we just go through so much milk with the kids, so it's like I get up in the morning and I'm just eating toast. There's no question about it. Man, I didn't realize these Zoom meetings were timed. When did that become a thing?
Fairly recently.
I swear, like during the pandemic, doing like 2-hour like Zoom calls with friends on a Saturday night.
Yeah, they changed it recently. There was always a limit for the free version of group meetings, but then it was unlimited for one-on-one, and then recently they made it so that one-on-one set 40-minute cutoff.
Right. I'm reading your comments again. I know it sounds weird, but I'm part of a whole community. That's not weird, man. Like, at all. There's communities for everything. Literally everything, man. Especially, like, even starting urban exploring, man. Did you think there would be... I had no idea that there was people. There was other people. No idea. So of course there's a community. I've been watching, man, I don't know if you ever watch TikTok shit, but there's people doing like ham radio stuff on TikTok. All I get that now is just suggested as ham radio and amateur radio clubs.
Right,
Non-stop.
okay.
I've
always
also
been interested in like amateur radio and stuff, but never pursued it.
Nah. You got too much stuff on your plate as it is with your trains. Yeah, I was talking about freight trains when you were gone.
Oh yeah.
Is freight train hopping really a thing in Australia? I'm sure it is.
It's probably more prevalent overseas, but it certainly does happen. I was talking to a guy on Instagram for a little bit, and he kept changing his name, so I got no contact with him now because he either changed his name or something or other. I don't know, but he claims to have been quite inspired by the American hobo lifestyle and sort of freight hopped a bit around Australia.
That's it. Man, there's so much freight train stuff just in America on like YouTube and TikTok, and I find it really relaxing, man. I've actually honestly gone to sleep so many times listening to the freight train videos. I don't know what it is, just the sounds, and I'm like, yeah, I'm off. I'm going to sleep. Nodding off.
Oh, well, I've got a couple of videos that they're not freight train hopping or anything, but like I called it for the Gunzels, because Gunzel is sort of like a slang term for railway enthusiast.
Like a foamer.
Yeah, foamer is another term.
How did foamer come about? How is that anything related to trains?
Because if you're really into trains, you might foam at the mouth.
I thought so. I didn't want to like be that guy, but I thought.
Yeah, no.
You're frothing at the bit.
So I think really in the railway sort of enthusiast space, at least in Victoria, Gunzel is just sort of anyone who's mildly enthusiastic about trains, but foamer gets thrown around as a semi-insult. If you get called a foamer, then someone might be saying you're getting a bit too excited.
Yeah, there's definitely those types out there, eh? They get keen for it.
Well, I see it used more often in a joking sort of manner, like, oh, you know, like we'll use K183 as an example since we got Matt K183. So K183, it was restored a long time ago, and then it got into a level crossing accident where unfortunately...
The train did?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I think a B-double failed to give way or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but unfortunately the crew members died. So
wow.
It was locked up, the locomotive was locked up for a little while they did the full investigation. And then the investigation came back and said, yeah, it was the fault of the truck, not the train. So it was released from the coroner, but then it just sat in storage for ages because no one wanted to touch it because people had died. And then just recently, like in the past year or two, steamrailed the group that was responsible for, sort of owned it. They said, all right, we're going to look at potentially bringing it back to restore it. And it was a bit of a controversial move, but they did it. They looked at it and said, yep, it's restorable, and we're going to do it. And finally they announced, oh, all right, we're going to be running it out on some test days, and people get pretty excited about that sort of thing. You know, it's not every day and new locomotive is restored. So
old mate said it happened in 2002 hauling a wedding charter.
Yeah, that's right.
Vanilla. Classic.
And so, yeah, there might have been a few foamers out chasing that.
But mate, have you seen the ultimate foamer at the minute is that fella on TikTok? Francis?
Oh, yeah.
He's classic, man. Do you reckon he's legit?
I've seen videos where he's not in character as such. He's a genuine enthusiast. He doesn't.
Yeah, but he hams it up for the.
Oh yeah, it's not entirely false, but it's not entirely true either.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's selling himself for what he loves doing, really. Though. So
Yeah.
good on him.
No, he's definitely exaggerating, but exaggeration is also a common thing in the railway enthusiast world.
Yeah, well, I think that's for anything online, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But even so, like, you know, I've got some friends who might get overly excited about some certain things, and other mates make fun of them, exaggerating them.
Yeah, there's people I've met and filmed with that. You know, once you get offline, it's they're a different person, and people probably say the same thing about me. But good on him though. He's made a life out of it.
Yeah, no.
There's comments coming in thick and fast. I can't keep up now.
Mate, this is my life every live stream.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
And there's only like 12 people. Like you think, 12 people, not that much, but no, the comments come through, and you're like, oh my god.
But good, because it keeps the stream going. Like there's no pauses and shit. Stephen said Floyd is converting Scotty into a rail fan. Nah, I think I don't know, man. I like the freight train stuff, to be honest. I like watching the freight train videos. There's an old bloke in America I like watching.
Yeah.
And he wrote a book about freight train hopping and stuff. I'm like, man, he's been doing it since like the 70s. And he makes decent videos.
Well, you've promised me for a few years that you'll come with me on a heritage train.
Yeah, honestly, we will. Man, I'd love to like do those. I mean, you've done so many trips. The one you did up in Queensland was awesome. What's the one that goes like through the desert and shit? Like goes up north.
The Yan.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be sick.
Expensive.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know a few people have done it and they've said how good it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think if you want to go all the way Adelaide to Darwin, one way in gold class, which ironically enough is the lowest class. There's platinum.
Yeah, so platinum's before gold.
No. Gold's before platinum, and then you can, if you want to get really up there, then actually I think they've just discontinued this, but there used to be like a they called it the John Forrest car or something like that, which is basically you hire out a carriage for a group of about 7 or 8 people.
That'd be sick. Imagine I couldn't be stuck in a carriage with Les though. I'd end up going mad. Poor Les.
Yeah, well, so Adelaide to Darwin gold class is, I think, about $4,000 one way.
Phew. Yeah, that's more money than I got.
Yeah, well, that's why I always say that the Spirit of the Outback in Queensland, I filmed a video on that.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, it's a little bit shorter than the GAN. It only goes for 24 hours-ish, something like that. I think it might go for 25 or 26 hours, but, about that. You get a similar sort of experience. Like, honestly, the cabin is near identical. The food would be near identical in terms of quality. And Spirit of the Outback, long reach to Brisbane costs, first class costs like, and that's when you get the bed and shit, like $400.
Yeah, that's not even the worst.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that actually, go Spirit of the Outback and spend $400. Yeah, it's not nothing, but it's way cheaper than the GAN, and you get a near identical experience.
And you get to be in Queensland.
Yeah.
Man, every time I go to Queensland, I'm like, I'm moving here. we were in the Gold Coast like a couple months ago for a week or so, and I was like, fuck. Like 100-meter walk to the beach. I know you're used to the beach life, Floyd, where you are, but not where I am. But,
I was going to say, I didn't find the Gold Coast that appealing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if I moved down your way for a week, I'd be like, I can walk along the beach for every night after work, or take the dog to the beach. But yeah, it's
It was very relieving during lockdown and stuff to be within walking distance of the beach.
Yeah, my uncle lives in Moorabbin, so he was like, 100 meters from the beach. Or,
not quite.
He's down I'm not sure if it's Moorabbin or it's down that way. More towards the coast. But yeah, he's
maybe
he's
Cheltenham or something.
Yeah, he's the same. But I'm like, fuck, like around here, 5 kilometers got me to the nearest Coles. It's those lockdowns are so stupid, man. I'm so glad that stuff's over.
I mean, you had the Plenty Gorge Park?
Yeah. So from where I am, I just get I could park my car to where the kilometre mark was, and then I would just walk in. Yeah, so I wouldn't actually get my things did not go anywhere near the park, but I just parked my car, and then I just walked like a kilometre or two into the park, and then once I was in the park, I'm like, who the hell is going to find me in here?
Yeah, I must admit I walked a bit further than my 5K a couple of times.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. Like there was that 10K, 5K kilometre, but I could drive from here to Rosebud for work every day, or go to go to the western suburbs, come back, but I couldn't go and see you I couldn't meet you 10 kilometres down the road. Yeah,
well, that was funny because I was doing Uber Eats, so I could write myself up the required permissions to go anywhere I wanted.
Right, so you were delivering.
Yeah. But they were just like, where do you work? I'm like, Melbourne?
Were you ever tempted to pinch a chip out of the Uber Eats?
I've been tempted.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah.
That's great.
It's actually decent money.
I got an Uber today for the first time, and I couldn't even tell you how long, man. That's the old Uber Eats. I don't even have Uber or Uber Eats on my phone. It's just... funnily enough,
the only time I've ever actually ordered Uber Eats myself was when my sister got COVID, so we were locked down for 7 days, and Uber had a sign-up deal where it was first 2 meals $30 off.
Right. Have you had it, COVID?
I haven't had it, no.
There's a fire alarm going off somewhere. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. No, Brittany actually got it while we were camping. We were 3.5 hours from home, and she's like, I don't feel very well. And I was like, oh, fuck. She was having all the symptoms. Wasn't until we got to Yannicki we could test her, and she tested positive. And we were like, oh my God, drive like 3.5 hours home. Obviously had to call work, be like, oh, we've got COVID. I never got it. This is like probably 3 months ago. And I never got it. The kid never got it, but she had it the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, my mum recently got COVID like a couple of weeks ago. So I've had family members in the house sick with COVID twice now, and yeah, haven't passed it on.
Panda was the same. Panda was the same, man. His wife got it, and he didn't get it, and his kid had it, and he didn't get it either. So I guess me and Panda are just like superhumans or something. With the force. Man, you got to keep up with these comments. They're coming in thick and fast.
Yeah, all right, I saw someone say something before about, am I doing any abandoned buildings? Oh. Yeah, OptiSan said, hey Floyd, is there any abandoned videos coming up? I've got to finish uni first, and then I'll worry about videos. Any sort of videos.
That's fair. I mean, these live streams are sick, man. They keep you occupied.
Yeah. Live streams are easy.
I'll have to come over one night, man, and we'll do one together so we don't have the 40-minute delay. We can do like a couple of hours.
We can keep going tonight for a bit. I mean, I know I only set up 2 meetings, but it's easy enough to set up a third.
Yeah, I don't care. We can keep going.
We'll see what the viewers think.
I'm going to go to dancing lessons with my daughter in the morning, but it's all good. And I'm going to Sovereign Hill tomorrow, Floyd.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to fit in. I'm going to be a bushranger.
There's a steam locomotive which is technically owned by Sovereign Hill, but is maintained by Steam Rail. And so as part of the maintaining agreement or whatever, Steam Rail has got to make it show up in Ballarat once a year. But then it's on its most recent outing, it was just like in such desperate need for a service that they had to drop it off in Geelong halfway home.
Shit.
Because the tyres had all worn out, and then I think they got it back eventually, but they had to bring it back home going at 30 k's an hour from Geelong.
What was that station we went to, like, in Ballarat when we filmed the motel? And we stopped at that station. I think you got in there. And on an old Foggy Avenue video, I'm pretty sure you got in there and the security guards came around or something.
Oh, yeah. That was Trawalla Station, which is on the... that's a bit further than Ballarat. It's sort of... I think it's between Ballarat and Beaufort. So maybe like a third of the way to between Ballarat and Ararat. So
Ararat. But that, and we filmed that slaughterhouse.
Yeah, the one in Balan.
Man, my camera fucked it that day. You remember I gave you my SD card?
Oh yeah, vaguely.
I lost all the footage of that day spewing, man. Because remember how bad we had that massive storm?
Oh yeah, no, I do remember that.
There was like hailstones just piled up everywhere, and like sheep running through the slaughterhouse. I had the best footage, and it was my old MacBook. I reckon I pulled the SD card out when I hadn't ejected it properly, which I've done 1,000,000 times on this bloody computer, and it just erased everything on the card. Absolutely everything. That and the motel, which I'm pretty sure is gone now.
The motel, actually, it's not gone, but weirdly it's got security cameras and stuff, like, actually good. I'm like, why? What? There's nothing there.
Yeah. That was a decent spot, but yeah, made cameras. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. the station, it wasn't security that showed up. It was actually prison guards.
Prison guards, right?
Yeah, because there's actually a low security prison just up the road, and I didn't know about it at the time. That's how I found out the prison existed. I knew there was one in Ararat, but that's a medium security. And yeah, so we were at the station and the prison has obviously seen us running around with cameras. And yeah, the prison guard, they were in like this hot rodded up Honda Civic with government number plates. I was like, huh? Like you got this like Honda Civic with this funky body kit, yet it's got, you know, the red government vehicle number plates on it. I'm like, wow, that's strange, but okay.
That was on your hike, wasn't it? On the...
No, it was part of our road trip.
One of them.
Our massive one. We went on this massive road trip in 2018 that we had originally planned to be 3 weeks of like non-stop exploring. And I mean non-stop exploring, like wake up, eat, explore, eat, sleep. But then after like a week, we were like, this is just getting ridiculous. And so we decided to just cut it to 2 weeks and then just take it a bit easier the second week.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, part of it was just that, like, you think Bez is anal with filming. You wait till you spend 2 weeks with him filming.
Oh, I can imagine.
And, you know, he would not compromise one bit. And we had just, like, packed our schedule so tightly that we couldn't, there was no flexibility in our schedule. And when, you know, you get to this abandoned building, it would just take so long and just all spiraled and, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can even plan for that sort of stuff, like, especially doing it smashing it all in a row. Like, you just got to take your time.
Yeah, yeah, and that's I sort of learnt from that because I think I did. When did I do Queensland? That was 2019. No. Gosh, it feels like it doesn't feel that long ago, but I think it was.
Yeah,
so my Queensland trip was like, you know, comparatively not that long after the road trip. And so I'd sort of learnt the mistakes of planning things too rigidly. So the way that I planned my Queensland trip was like, I would just plan on basically like, okay, well, you know, the train, I can't change when the train leaves, so plan around which trains do I want to catch and, you know, when do they leave, because they often left, there might have only been 4 services a week, so I'd have to plan my days. But then once I sort of had that fixed, I'd try to make sure that I had a day or two in each town, but I didn't plan on what I was going to do in each town. I just sort of rocked up and was like, oh yeah, right, so what's there to do? Oh yeah, there's this museum here, go look at that. Oh, okay, what else? Oh, there's another cool thing over there.
You can't live off a schedule when you're touring. There's no way. You just can't do it, man. Anything can happen as well.
Yeah, and that was the thing with the road trip, was like we'd planned it so originally that there was, you know, we'd drive past a place that, you know, that's just what happens. You drive past places and you find cool spots, and you don't want to turn down like an awesome looking homestead that you just drove past.
Yeah. Oh man, the amount of times driven past stuff that looks like nothing, but then you get in there and it's everything. It's yeah. Well, you went up. You went up to the. I remember talking to you on Instagram about it. Up to just outside Swan Hill on the lake there with the that old motel.
Yes, that's demolished now.
Oh really? Fuck. The amount of times I've wanted to go in there, like I drive up. I've been up there quite like a fair bit. My best mate's family live up about 30k outside Swan Hill.
Yeah.
On a massive property, like huge property. It's amazing. But the amount of times I've driven past with just like a car full of people that I know just wouldn't want to stop. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember there's an old house in the middle of Swan Hill that looks awesome as well. And the other motel on inbound to Swan Hill, there's one on the left hand side that has like the old 50s style sign. That's abandoned as well.
Yeah, I was talking. You remember the Rome exhibition?
Yeah.
Yes, the one in the Dandenongs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went through there, and I think Callum was his name, Rome's assistant basically. I was chatting to him on the way out, and I was like, done a pretty good job, I'm an urban explorer, so I know what an abandoned building actually looks like, and you've done a pretty good job at, recreating that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, thanks. Do you know if this, old hotel on the outskirts of Swan Hill? I was like, oh no, that's cool. So.
Yeah, I drove past that. Oh fuck, 2017, I reckon, the first time I went up there, and I was like, pull the car over. Like I need to go and check that out. But yeah, I don't know. Last time I went up there, I feel like I just drove past it without even looking. But yeah, when I saw that you were up there in the up there with the hotel, that other one on the lakeside. But yeah, was it any good anyway?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was cool. It was pretty trashed.
Right.
I was kind of lucky because I think when I went there, I was with Rod, who's in the comments.
Yeah.
And
so that's right. Okay, I understand now. I know some of these names popping up. So that's Roderick Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I was with him. I think we were on our way back. I'm pretty sure from collecting something to do with his boat. I can't remember exactly what we were doing, but anyway, I just sort of said, we were making a stop, and we had to make a stop in Lake Boga for one reason or another. I can't remember, but I was like, oh well, while we're passing through, I want to check out this old motel that is there, and I knew it'd been sitting there for years and years, and I'd, like you, had driven past it a few times, but couldn't stop for one reason or another. And it's like, oh cool, finally I can stop and check it out and blah blah blah. And then a little while later, Rod was driving up there on his own and saw it demolished and sent me an email and was like, hey, I'm pretty sure that hotel we went through is now demolished. And I didn't really believe him at first, because I was like, that's been sitting there for years. I doubt that they'd demolish it, but, and then, got some further confirmation somehow. I was like, whoa, it actually is demolished.
Yeah, I haven't been up there. I was up there start of this year, I think. Sort of March of this year, I reckon it was. But it was there then. That was probably before you filmed it, to be honest.
All right, less than a minute, but I reckon we go for a third Zoom.
Yeah, do it.
All right, let's get it sorted.
Well, you just...
back on YouTube. All right, let me look at some comments because I haven't been keeping up at all.
I know. We've been too busy yakking.
I know. I saw something that someone asked why is there a ladder and shit in the background? Because the house is getting renovated, and I don't know why specifically that ladder is in this room, but that's the way things are. There's just shit everywhere, and I told MuiTube earlier, but the builder has pulled out on us because apparently Mum kept changing her mind too much, and then when she stopped changing her mind, he wasn't convinced that she wasn't going to change her mind again, so he's pulled out. That's the long and short of it, but yeah, it's a little bit more than that. Anyway, OptiSan says, does anyone know about that abandoned place at Port Melbourne, the one which catch on fire? There's a few places in Port Melbourne that have caught on fire.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about the one that's like really close to Station Pier, I just know it was like a gym or something. That's about the extent that I know.
Wasn't the old paintball place?
No, that's different. The admin part of the old paintball place is still standing. I'm pretty sure it would be heritage listed.
Right.
But I drive past that whenever I jump over the West Gate. So yeah, I can see that they're redeveloping it, but yeah, I don't know what they're actually making it into. Probably just the light industry. Rod is saying he remembers when street lighting went to sodium vapour, then mercury vapour. They were slow to warm up, gave a distinctively different light. I don't know where that even came from, but yeah, you still find, if you see a yellow, like an orangey yellow coloured street lamp, that's sodium, high pressure sodium. If you see like an older one which is more of a white light, then that's mercury vapour. And if you see a really modern street light, then it's probably LED or something like that.
Look at you guys go.
Interestingly, the old sodium lights, they produce, so most light sources produce a fairly wide array of actual frequencies of light. So, there's no actual one frequency which makes up white light. It's really just all frequencies, or a range of frequencies. And I know about sodium lamps because normally you can change the white balance in your camera to match the lighting, but you can't with sodium lamps because they don't produce a range of light. They produce pretty much just one single frequency. So it's not,
gotcha. And
that's also why you'll notice if you're in an area that's completely lit up by these old yellow sodium lights, it's really hard to determine colour. It's really hard to figure out what the colour of something is. And that's because we figure out colour because like a blue thing, for example, reflects blue light back at our eyes. So we can tell that it's blue as opposed to red because that reflects red light back at our eyes. But if, there needs to be that frequency to begin with to reflect back, and if it's only this one specific yellow, then all the light that's bouncing back at us is this same colour. and so we can't actually determine colour. We can determine like bright and dark, but not actual colour. And if we think we see any colour, it's really only because we know that like a tree is meant to be green, for example. So our brain sort of fills in a bit of green, even though there's no actual green light.
Your mate Roderick Smith said Lake Bogger was that's where the thing was, right? On the way to the Murray Sunset 4W adventure.
Yeah.
The Dolomission. I can never say that word. God, for someone who works in the industry. Was sighted from travelling by boat. And he said, "Where is Muse, mate? My mate's family live past Noya. It's about 30 kilometres outside Swan Hill. It's a beautiful spot. You can see basically the trees of the Murray River from their front doorstep."
So Rod's saying in regards to freight hopping, it isn't common in Australia. Two were sprung trying to cross the Nullarbor on a wagon to avoid COVID border closures.
I remember that. I did read that. I remember. Yeah, there's something.
I mean, it's hard to. Yeah, it's hard to really tell how popular or not it is because, you know, the people who do it, you're not going to get them to admit publicly that they do it. For the most part, you're only going to get them to admit it if you talk to them privately.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so it's hard to get a basis of it, but I don't think it's terribly common.
Well, there's something definitely different in America or Europe with it because so many people friggin' just post it online in America and Europe and stuff, but you never see anyone posting it in Australia.
Yeah, and I think the consequences in Australia, although in the US they do have the railroad police, so the railroads sort of have their own police department.
Yeah. Roderick said 30k from Naya sounds like Woodwood. No, it's 30k from Swan Hill. So yeah, Woodwood is the next town before you cross the border to Tullibah. So Naya. It's about 30k from Swan Hill, I think, or around that mark. I haven't been up there. So yeah, it's a grass spot, man.
Yeah, Roderick says the term gunzel used to be highly derogatory and insulting, but has mellowed. Strictly, it should be gunsel with an S. The origin was the film Maltese Falcon, and it was a reference to short-witted gunslingers, something like that. Yeah, I think the exact origin of the word is debated, but that is one theory.
I've heard foamer a few times, and I've only ever heard that whatever it is, guzzler or whatever.
Gunzel.
From you. Yeah, I've only ever heard that from you. Oh.
Well, funnily enough, at one point, Les, obviously hearing me say the word gunzel, he misheard me and called it a gumble with a B.
Of course he did.
So, and that was in one of his earliest videos, and then, you know, he realised and corrected himself by the next one, but then that video in itself would have been a few years old. So then, you know, when he released it fairly recently, I made fun of him for saying gumble instead of gunzel, and now it's a meme between Les and I that, you know, gunzel, you're a gumble.
Yeah, that sounds like Les in a nutshell.
Rod says, even cheaper than the GAN or the Spirit of the Outback, go to Broken Hill by New South Wales Rail Motor, then bus to Mildura and Swan Hill and train again. you could go on, I think there's the Spirit of the Outback. Hang on, I think the dog's trying to get in. Oh no, dog's not, Mum is.
Dog's trying to break in.
No, I often leave him outside and then he scratches on the door to get in, but no, it's all right. I think you can get economy on the Spirit of the Outback for $80, something like that. But I was more, I called the Spirit of the Outback the poor man's Scan, because if you go first class on the Outback, you get a very similar experience to gold class on the hotel on wheels that is the GAN, but at a much lower price because it's subsidised by the government.
Right. Man, you posted a story the other day about the sleeping on the trains.
Oh yeah.
Man, I just know I wouldn't sleep.
Even in a bed?
In a bed, probably, but yeah, I don't know, man. I just felt like I was like, nah, I'm not sleeping here.
Yeah, well, I've never gotten a terribly good night's sleep just sitting up in a seat. I mean, I can get to sleep. I get a mediocre sleep, but yeah, the bed, each time I've had a bed, it's been smooth, so. First time I slept on a train, it wasn't actually moving. It was in like 2017, I think. And it was meant to be the final trip on this line before they closed it for gauge conversion. And then that never ended up happening for various political reasons. But this was basically the first heritage tour that had gone up that way in years, and I couldn't afford to go on the full thing, but they were offering day trips from, I think, Charlton and Witchyproof to Sea Lake and return. The train would stop at Witchyproof overnight, and so I'd driven up to Charlton by car and then got on the train in the morning, gone to Sea Lake, come back. The train had stopped at Witchproof and then they provided a bus to get me back to Charlton. Then I drove in my car from Charlton to Witchproof, and that was all planned. And then I was initially just going to park my car up on the platform of the station because you could do that. It's not a regularly used station. It's like this is a freight line. But then I was chatting to one of my mates who was volunteering on the train. I was like, oh, it's going to be cold tonight. And he's like, oh, we've actually got a spare bed on the train. If you talked to John, who was the train manager or the head of the organisation or whatever, he said, oh, look, if you go have a chat to John and offer him $50 donation to 707 Ops, then I'm sure he'd let you sleep on the train. So I said, all right, I'll go talk to him, and hit him up, and he was like, well, yeah, sounds all right. As long as it's like, look, we're leaving at like 7 a.m. in the morning or something, so as long as you're okay with us waking you up at like 6:45 or something and booting you off the train, then yeah, you're welcome to. $50 sounds good. And I was like, yep, done deal. And so the bed I got was in an air-conditioned, heated carriage. So I got a heated room for the night with a proper bed that I was otherwise just going to put the back seat down in my car and sleep in the back of the car. Wouldn't have been bad, but, you know, done that plenty of times before, but still a bed on a heated train is better. And yeah, that was the first time I slept on a train. I didn't mention that because on my Instagram thing, because the train wasn't moving. So although I was sleeping on a train, it wasn't quite the same thing.
That's still cool though.
And yeah, a couple of times I've slept at when I volunteered for the Steam Rail Open Days in Newport. They offer volunteers, or for any of their trips really, if you volunteer for them, they say, yeah, as long as you bring your own bedding, or you know, your own sheets and whatnot, and your own doona and pillow, you're welcome to set up shop in one of the sleeping carriages that they maintain.
Yeah.
If you're a volunteer. So yeah, if I've been volunteering over a weekend, it's like, well, no point me going home only to driving 40 minutes to go home, only to come back 40 minutes the next day. Might as well just stay overnight at the workshops. And so yeah, I've slept on a couple of carriages in the Newport workshops.
Haunted.
Roderick says Floyd's curries kill any COVID pathogens. He is immune. I haven't had many curries recently.
No.
I cooked myself spaghetti bolognese tonight.
Nice.
Matt K183 says parallel runs on the 3rd. Can't wait. Indeed, I booked my tickets yesterday. All right, Optispan, whatever his name is. He seems to have left a little while ago. And yeah, we are dropping off in viewers slowly, but that's all right.
Yeah. We'll give it another 5 and we'll take off, eh?
Yeah.
Roderick said, while we have Urbex Mew, that's a new one. Perhaps nominate a few memorable site visits. Oh my goodness. Memorable site visit. I can give you one. You know how people always talk about, like, what's the most dangerous thing you've seen, or like the most dangerous, have you ever like almost died or anything in a place? I can tell you about the one time I was exploring with someone who will not be named. Floyd, you'll know why. And it was the old, actually I think you might have even been there, man, but it was the old what was it, paper mills in Alpington area?
Yeah, paper mill.
Yeah, and I'm walking through. I think you and Les might have been there, but you were a little bit behind me. And I was walking up with old mate, and it was just one of those days where it was warm. We're right next to the river, and being in the area I grew up with, I just know snakes. Like there's going to be snakes around, and I'm like, yeah, just be careful for snakes, because I know this is like there's rubble around and everything. Right as I say that, a king brown snake comes up between me and just goes straight between my legs.
Oh shit!
Right between my legs, and old mate, who won't be named, is standing like 1.5 centimeters behind me, goes through his legs, over his boot, and into the rubble. And I'm like, that was like the most venomous snake in the world. That just went straight between our legs and into the rubble.
Yeah. I've also had a snake experience, close call at that same place.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty sure it was the first time that I was there. Gosh, that would have been years and years ago. I was with Les and my other good mate James, who he wants to become a police officer, so he's basically not explored it with us at all since deciding that. Whatever, that's his choice. Anyway, we were with James and we were in the pump house, and you know how it's all flooded down the bottom?
Yeah, I remember the video, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was at the very bottom step before it was just flooded, and I'd taken all the photos and shit that I wanted and whatever. I was ready to go back up. And then I see on the next step up from me what I thought at first was a toy snake. And because it was curled up like a toy snake. And I was, no joke, about to kick it for fun. And then I was like, oh wait, nah, I'll show everyone else this toy snake, and I'll show, they can watch me kick it. And I'm like, hey guys, look at this. And at that moment I realised that's not a toy snake, that's a real snake.
That's a snake.
And it hissed at me and somebody shouted run, and I just bolted, stepped right over it, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and then we ran up the stairs a bit, and yeah, we looked back after a bit to see how it tried to follow us or whatever, and no, it hadn't moved.
No. Yeah, that's a classic. I reckon I've seen more snakes in abandoned buildings than anything else, or around that mark than anything else. I'm always like banging on about it in every one of my videos. Like, I don't want to see a snake. I don't want to see a snake.
Yeah, snakes are honestly the biggest threat in abandoned buildings.
Oh yeah. Yeah, didn't you see a snake at what's the Truganina?
Yeah. Did we see a snake? I don't know if I did. Maybe Les or Panda did.
Yeah, I reckon you did. I remember Les filming it at least.
Yeah. I mean, we were often quite spread out at that place.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame that it's not all gone. It's mostly gone.
Yeah, I drove past it not long ago.
I mean, like the front gate tower was demolished to make way for the duplication of the road.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple buildings remaining, but just off the road. I think there might be a couple munitions stores still around if you know where to look for them, but
yeah,
for such...
I remember seeing it, like they were so open like years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I got my hands on a site plan, like an original site plan, and yeah, it was just like a massive, massive facility.
Was that the Sunshine Silos? I'm pretty sure it's still there. But I remember opening the drawers to that. There was that little room that was off to the side, and it had like all the plans in there, in all the drawers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think I took a plan from there actually.
I've got some somewhere.
Yeah, normally I'm not for taking anything from abandoned buildings, but I'll make an exception every now and then if it's going to be preserving something.
If it's going to be kicked out, then why not?
I reckon the funniest, like most random thing that I've found in an abandoned building was it was a toilet flusher.
Man, I took a Guns N' Roses cassette tape from that Explorer I did with you and Les out towards Essendon. It was that factory, and there was the house across the road. I've still got it somewhere. I'm like, this house is being demolished tomorrow. I'm taking this.
Pretty sure the factory is still there, even though we were told that it was getting demolished.
Oh my god. I can't say I've been out that way since.
Yeah, I rarely go out that way as well. But...
yeah. Should we wrap it up?
Yep. I'll see if there's any other just final comments. Matt says on the Northern Weekender, the chuffing of the train was bliss during the night in the wooden sleeping car. Yeah, I'd love to go on a weekender sleeping tour and stay in a wooden carriage. It'd be cold, but you get the ambience of being able to open the window.
That's it. Cool, man. Well, hey, it's been great.
Yeah, it has.
We'll have to do one in person sometime, maybe with Les as well. Can we do a mega live stream with you, me, Panda, and Les?
Yeah, if we can arrange that.
Oh, we can definitely arrange it. Les will probably lose his mind.
He tried to arrange shit with you, but that didn't happen, did it?
No, because at the time I was working weekends, so. But as of today, I worked my last day with the company I'm at now. So as of next week, I'm working at a new joint that has no weekend work. So I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, so it'll be we can definitely do something on a Friday night or something. Could be good. We'll get dinner and do some live shit.
Yeah, well, I'm on a 3-week break from the 1st of July.
Nice.
So we'll have to organise something.
Cool. All right, mate. Well, yeah, sign off. It's been good.
All right, well, let me think. In terms of live stream in 2 weeks' time, I have not organised anyone. I could try to get Panda on.
Dude, get Panda or Jay Boston.
Yeah, all right. I'll sort. Yeah, I want to interview Jay at one point. I never know with Jay whether he is alright or doesn't like me. I think he does. Jay's fine. Jay's fine. He just, I think he just gets a bit fed up with Les and I and our shenanigans sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nah, get Panda on, man. He'll do it for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All right.
yeah. Actually, I think in 2 weeks' time, I might not even have a live stream. I'll figure it out. I'll make announcements, and yeah, it should be good.
Done.
All right.
mate. Thank you.
Cheers, Scotty, and yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
Bye.
See you later.